Today we are traveling from Durrës to Kruja. Kruja is a small mountain town about an hour away from both Durrës and Tirana, and it was actually suggested to me from someone on TikTok. I absolutely love mountain towns, so I was like, sure, why not check it out? And I am so glad I did because this was honestly my most scenic stop on my trip so far. I got a private ride for about $35 all the way there and booked a night at a guest house at the very top of the city within castle walls for only $22 a night. And I'm still splitting everything with my friends, so it made it only $11. It was perfect. The only problem was our stove not working since it was the off season and we were the first people to stay there in quite a while, but it allowed us to have the excuse to go out to eat a lot. Luckily, we were surrounded by the top-rated restaurants in the town, probably because they have the best view of both the valley and the castle, but we'll get to that. I was obsessed with everything that surrounded us, but in case you're thinking of booking here too, keep in mind that every place you go to that isn't the castle or those restaurants is going to be a nice long walk straight down the mountain that you will then be climbing back up. It was fine for us, but good to know for others that may not have the mobility. The Panorama Hotel is closer to the town center and just as nice, but if you have no trouble with hills, staying here for the immaculate views is a good enough reason to book a place up here alone. I could sit and stare out at the sea of mountains for hours. As far as what to see in the town, you have to go check out the Old Bazaar. Now, I felt a little awkward filming there because since it's the winter months and during the week, I was one of the only people walking through the bazaar at times, which means that every vendor was trying to get me to buy something from them. Now, I totally get it. We're all out here trying to make a living. But it's hard for someone who literally can't even fit everything they own in the 2 small bags that they brought. If this was just a trip and I had room for souvenirs, sure, I would have loved to buy some of the beautiful pieces that were being sold. But I still have another 5 months of traveling before I can get back to my car and unload, so it wasn't really possible for me. And I felt bad taking out my camera to film without buying anything. I did get a few clips when it was a bit busier on the weekend though. Besides from the bazaar, the Kruja Castle and Fortress at the top of the town are definitely the city's main attractions, which makes sense because they are stunning. Kruja is well known for being the site where Skenderberg fought off the Ottoman militia from conquering Albania, and it was actually the capital before Tirana. How crazy! The castle was actually built around the 5th or 6th century. You can take a look inside and get a nice view off the balcony for about 500 lek or $4.70. There's also a few museums in there. There's a sign behind the castle leading you up to the fortress and it informs you that entry is free, but I was a bit confused by that because it did not look like you could enter it. The fortress is currently being held together by straps, which makes sense due to its age. We took a walk around it and took some pictures before picking out one of the restaurants to go to. We wound up picking this one that I can't pronounce, so I will write it out below, as the man that rented the room to us also works there, so we told him we would check it out. And I am so glad we did because we had the best view I've ever had while eating dinner. And we were surrounded by adorable cats. I was able to try authentic homemade raki for the first time and it was nothing like what I tried in the bottle. Then we had the most delicious lamb I had ever tasted. It was an amazing experience and it was so cheap too. 4 rakis, 2 lamb entrees, and 2 cappuccinos cost us about $33 and he threw in a free dessert. The view alone was worth that. You don't need much time in Kruja to see it all, even a day trip from Tirana would suffice, but it's honestly a must-see if you come all the way to Albania. I can see how it would be a very touristy town during the summer. But after this beautiful mountain getaway, it was time to head back to the capital city of Tirana to see a few things we missed and plan which Balkan country we are heading to next. I will catch y'all on the next one.